All right, guys. Obviously, that was a heck of a team win. First of all, it's not hard. It's not easy to go on the road and get any ACC win, and I'm just awful proud of our football team for the way they just continue to fight. I mean, that first quarter was a rough quarter, and things could have just fell in and collapsed. But our kids, we talk about just playing together and keeping the faith, and that's a talented Florida State football team. Their roster is full of NFL talent. Our kids played hard. They play with energy. Still make too many mistakes as far as penalties. We score a touchdown. We got to celebrate with each other. There's a lot of little things we got to still clean up in that second half. I think the first series defensively, we had two personal fouls, gave them 30 yards and just got them, gave them field position. We changed the field position there, but just awful proud of our football team. Kenny Pickett is a tough son of a gun. I didn't know if he was going to go or not. And obviously he went hard. Scrambled a few times. Obviously had a heavily taped up, braced ankle, but he's my MVP. Our offense ticks when he's out there. It's a little bit different. I was proud of our run game. We got a run game going as well a little bit. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Pat, when you were talking about how the first quarter was looking really rough for a while. Did you say anything to your guys when they went up, when they got another touchdown, or was it sort of just a kind of unified message like, hey, we all know we got to pick it up right now, coming from your guys? Yeah,
they did some things. They did some things in the first quarter that we hadn't seen, and I still don't know what happened on that big run they had. Again, Travis is a good player. I told you he could run, but I think our end ran up the field and opened up a big gap. We'll look at the tape and see, but they did some things that we weren't really prepared for. We made some great adjustments by our defense staff on the sideline, and that's how the game is played. I mean, they're going to always try to do something that you're not prepared for, but our kids showed up and played their tails off. And again, it's all about the players. They made plays today.
Go ahead, Alan.
Did you get the sense that Kenny was playing through pain still at this point? And how, if you had to get close to a percentage-wise, how healthy is he?
And I don't know. I don't think he played with pain. Afterwards he feels pretty darn good. I said, "How you feel?" And he said, "I feel great, coach." So I think a win makes everybody feel a heck of a lot better. But we'll evaluate him. But I don't think he was in much pain. That guy has been in therapy, probably 10 hours a day. Dale Thornton gets a lot of credit in our training staff of just getting him back to where he was today, and he'll be even healthier for next week.
Pat, you have some young guys in that secondary and a couple of new pieces. Can you speak to the way they played and the pressure that you guys got up front to support them?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said it earlier, they don't have 129 starts up there. We were able to put pressure, 4 and 5 and 6 man pressure on them all day. I don't know how many sacks we had, 7 or 8 of them. But our young guys in the back, Eric Hout had a heck of a football game. I think he could have had a pick, AJ, had a nice pick. And then of course, Brandon Hill, finishes the game off with a pick. Got to teach him how to celebrate with his teammates. But we played a lot of young guys back there. Rashad Battle, obviously DeMar Hamlin had another, tremendous football game. So, we played a lot of guys back there. We were a little shorthanded in the back end, but we were able to get it done.
How do you explain your team missing a lot of very important pieces on both sides of the ball and coming up with the biggest win of the season?
Again, Jerry, like I told you, Brandon Hill's a football player. You watch him run, you watch him tackle. I think I told you 3 weeks ago, we feel like Brandon Hill's a starter, period. He's a guy that we knew could make a lot of plays, and obviously he did that today.
Pat, how important was it getting short field after short field on those touchdowns? I mean, really help you guys out to take advantage of those opportunities. I know in the past you guys have been on the other side of those before.
No question about it, and that's all the difference in the world when you give your offense a short field to work with. And again, Coach Whip on the offense did a heck of a job. Like I said, the run game, the pass game, we put it all together today, and that was a complete win there, team win.
Coach, Pat, what's on it? Oh, go ahead, Amanda.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Pat, what can you say about your team responding in this manner? You lose 4 straight games. You have the off week. Kenny's hurt, wasn't at 100% today. Paris opted out. Like, what does that say about the resiliency of the team to overcome all of that and put on such a performance today?
Yeah, I mean, it just tells you our kids believe in what we're doing, how we're doing it. And, we really talked a lot about the details and the little things, take care of the little things and the big things will take care of themselves. We preach that. And our kids did a lot of the great details today. I mean, they really played together as a football team, and it tells you we have a character football team. There's a ton of character. Our kids had, they had fun today, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Coach, you kind of touched on this a little bit in your opening statement, but just how proud of these guys are you and what you guys were able to accomplish today, talking about, coming back from this bye week and wanting to get back in that win column?
Yeah, I mean, we talked all week about, we got a 4-game season right now, and it's one at a time. And again, there's 10 games canceled this weekend, and I still go back to, the victories we've had off the field, keeping our kids safe, keeping our staff safe. And, we had, one contact person that wasn't here today, a young guy, and that was from being with family. The biggest victory really, is what we've done off the field. And again, the kids get the credit for that.
And whose idea was it to use your backup quarterback in short yardage?
Obviously the offense staff, Coach Whipple. I mean, we didn't want to run Kenny too much. Kenny was mad at the end of the game when we put Nick in there to run those 2 quarterback sneaks. He's like, "Don't take me off the field." That's what he's all about. He yelled at me. But we're trying to keep him safe, and we had a lot of faith in Nick Patty, and obviously he scored those 2 touchdowns on in the empty, zone play, which we thought was there. And again, Nick can throw the ball too.
Pat, obviously Jordan with 11 catches. It seems like he's doing this every week now. I mean, does he surprise you at all at any time when he goes out there and kind of is performing like he is as a freshman?
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me at all. I mean, he's a football player. And again, it would surprise me if he was up and down every week, but he stays consistent. And, we gave him a chance to get on the move, and we motioned a few times to get him open and get off some press because they put their nickel back on him. But Jordan Addison is a football player.
Final before we get to players, Alan, go ahead.
Yeah, Pat, you played without a couple guys. Jason Pinnock specifically, is that a guy you expect to have back next week?
Yeah, Jason will be back with us, next week for sure.
Hey, Pat.
Yes.
He'll be back too?
I didn't hear that question.
I'm sorry, Taser Mack, will he be back next week too?
We hope so. I can't speak to that right now.
Chris, you want the last one?
Hope so.
Hey, Pat.
Yes. That Chris, my bad.
Hey, Pat. It's Chris Idell from Hermanton Radio in Baltimore. That fumble that you guys had in the first, when it was caused in the first quarter, that Florida State took it all the way back to, it could have been 21-3. How crucial was that? Do you think that was a turning point that was not called a touchdown?
Yeah, that's obviously a big one. Obviously, we had one of those earlier in the year when the ball goes 8 yards forward, you got to assume the ball was going forward. It was an incomplete pass. So obviously that was, a big call in the game, and, I think they got it right.
Mr. Carter, we'll give you the last one. Go ahead.
Thanks, Pat. You've talked about needing to get your running game going, and you mentioned this week how you were going to keep plugging away because you knew it had to be part of your offense. Your running backs collectively got over 100 yards in this game. Just wanted to give you a chance to talk about the effort of your guys up front in your line, but also the fight. You saw Vincent Davis and A.J. Davis both break off runs.
Yeah, I mean, our O-line obviously did a good job. Still didn't run it like we want to, but our O-line did a great job, obviously led by Jimmy Morrissey, and that's how we just got to keep plugging away and going after those yards. We had a couple TFLs early, but we hung with it, and we were able to to pop some runs in there on them.